Hello, boys and girls. My name is Mike Kelly from the Real Illusion Forum and from my channel, which apparently, if you're seeing this, you're probably subscribed. Hopefully, you'll subscribe. Everybody always asks for subscribers. Honestly, it's nice if you subscribe, but I don't get paid any money for this channel, so I don't really care. Anyway, I want to talk to you about Genesis 9 figures because they are now supported by CC4 Transformer input. And here, for example, is a Genesis 9 troll that came in with all of the textures. Note that if you want to get the textures for the actual body of a figure, we've talked about this in the past, but remember that you have to bake the textures when you bring it in. I'll show you that in a second on another one, but if you want to have these colors and textures, you got to hit bake for those. So great, Genesis 9 supported, and this is Genesis 9 armor and outfits, and it's great that Genesis 9 is natively supported. That's an advantage because now we can use clothing and hair and other items from our regular CC3 Plus figures right on. Plus, lip sync works perfectly. So great on Daz for the, great on Real Illusion for that. However, there is one significant problem I'm going to show you. So I have an outfit that I've exported called for a Genesis 9 figure called the Genesis 9 Sci-Fi outfit. So we're going to go and we're going to try to bring that in. Genesis 9 Sci-Fi Captain outfit is what it's called. So we're going to try to bring it in. And you guys have seen this in the past when we have parts of an outfit that hide parts of the character. You get an error here that says it can't find the character that you're trying to load. And that's the case here, is that the boots for the sci-fi outfit hide the boot textures on the, the boot mesh, the feet mesh on the character. And thus, but you don't get an error message, unfortunately. It looks like, hey, this is going to work. Great, we're going to bring in this character. And yet, what happens is you just get a hot mess. I'm going to show you this. I should have done it on I'll do it on a blank scene, because when you do it on this scene, you really can't tell what's happening. What's happening here is, let's try this over again. I'll show you a blank scene here, because without a blank scene, it's very hard to tell what's actually happening. But remember, we have a sci-fi outfit that has all kinds of stuff on the Genesis 9 figure. And on the Genesis 9 figure, we're exporting it from Daz as we normally would. But the problem is, as this takes forever to clear this out, but the problem is the boots on this particular figure hide the feet mesh of that Genesis 9 figure. So as a result, what happens when we try to bring it in, once again, Captain Outfit, we'll try this. And it doesn't even give us a screen where we can check off the items. Remember those things? You'll see it just brings up a horrible mess. Looks like some kind of a creature. I don't even know what it's doing. It's doing something awful here. It's something that you can't unsee, but I want you to see it. So there it is. So I don't even know what this has begun to do here, but that's what it does. So obviously that's not what we want. What we want is the Captain outfit to come in. Now in the past, when we had this problem, it would give us that warning, said it couldn't find a Genesis figure. So what we would do, boys and girls, I hope you remember this, is you put another Genesis figure of the same exact type in the scene. And when you do that, you end up with the ability to then import it. Well, in this case, that trick doesn't work. So they've gotten rid of that trick anymore, at least with the Genesis 9. I'm assuming that the other figures were the same. So instead, I'm going to show you, so we have the sci-fi outfit without the boots. I'm going to bring that in because it shows you it does work with, as long as we take the boots out. So we'll go there. And this is where, again, remember when it hides meshes before, you would get an error message, and then you would know to put another character in. Well, this is, so it's not doing that anymore. So now you can see it's all working. You don't need these eyebrow cards. These are accessories that come in from Gen 9, so we can take those off. If you had a texture, if you had a particular character that you wanted that texture for, you'd want to check mark this, bake body texture like those trolls that I had. But this is just a regular guy, so I don't really care to check that. This is an accessory. You got to change the hat to that. Gloves is fine, but you notice we don't have any shoes. So I'll bring that in, and I'll show you that that does come in just fine. But what are we going to do about this, boys and girls? So we can't get the shoes. If we put the shoes on, we get that error. or actually we don't even get an error, we just get a mess that imports in. You can't put another Genesis figure in, trust me, I would show you, but it's the same exact thing. It still comes in with that terrible, horrible mess that looks like some Cronenberg monster or something. David Cronenberg, for those of you that want to look up some trivia. So what can we do? Well, here I'm going to show you what we're going to do about this. So here's the character, and you can see all the outfit comes in except for the boots. So what we did was we went to Daz and we brought the boots in and we put them in. Well, actually, I should probably show you the whole thing because otherwise it's like a cooking show. And you have to understand me that I did this. So here's the boots. We brought the boots in without a figure at all. And then those boots, they're actually rigged. So we don't want them rigged. So you want to go up here to edit and go to figure. And we're going to go to rigging and we want to convert it to a prop. Okay, got that? So we're choosing those boots. They're rigged. So we go to figure, rigging, and convert the figure to a prop. So now they're a prop. Definitely that's an important step because otherwise you'll never be able to get them. And then from here you just export it. So assume that I've done that. I've exported the boots. So now in here, what we're going to do is come in here to exports, and we're going to take those boots, and we're going to bring them in here. And they're not a character, so they are props. We're going to put them in. So they're props, and as you'll see, they don't quite fit, but we're not going to get panicked about that just yet. So there's the boots as a prop. The first thing we have to do is attach them to that character, because if we don't attach them, we can't change them into clothing. So we pick the parent, and we're going to choose that foot down there. And now they're attached, and because they're attached now, we can go up here and transfer the skin weights. And we want to make them to be shoes, because they are shoes. So apply that. Hopefully you're all with me on this. And this would be true if it's pants, if it's gloves, whatever is hiding that. Now you might say, well, how do I know, Mike? Well, you don't. Unfortunately, you're going to have to do trial and error. I had to do trial and error here. As a general rule, pants and jackets and things don't hide parts, but gloves, shoes, those are the kind of things. Some pants will, just depends. But okay, so now we have those attached, but they don't fit right. And you can go to conform, but they're not really in a position yet to conform properly. So we're going to go to edit mesh. And again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I just want you to see the general procedure. You can do this any way you want. You do it the way you want to do it, and I'll do it the way I want to do it. So we'll bring this, we'll rotate this over a little bit, and we'll bring it up a little bit because that's about right, and maybe over a little bit more, and rotate a little. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I just want to get it close. And same thing on here. I'm going to bring this over and rotate this a little bit, and bring it up a bit, and maybe a little bit more rotation. There we go. Something like that. Okay, and then when you're all done with that, then you can go to conform. I mean, you're gonna do as much, and you can also push in, pull out the. But I just want to do this, and I'll show you why I want to do this. So after we do as much conforming as possible and get them so they're close, okay. But what I'm going to do anyway, so there's a little bit of stuff showing there. So and you can play around, you can increase the size, you can do all that, but I don't bother because there are shoes, and because just like in Daz. You can hide the mesh. We're gonna do that with our character here, our avatar. So I'm gonna just select the feet, and I'm gonna come down here and hide them, and then and now we don't have any poke through. So there's no poke through, or there, everything's fine. And probably should do that on the gloves too, because there's a little poke through there. But once everything's set, you gotta make sure your hat. I think your hat is attached to the head. Sometimes they attach. See, they attach to the hip. Gotta watch that. When hats come in, they end up attached to the hip, so you have to change those to be the head. Otherwise, that's gonna really screw you. And then we'll just put the walk on this character to see how he does. And boots look good there, and you can see boots are moving good. Outfit's looking good. I think we got a Genesis 9 figure with the clothing in that we want. So that's basically what you have to do. So hopefully it's a little more work. The good news is Genesis 9 is supported. The bad news is if you have it to where it hides mesh, you're going to have to be a little careful about how you get it in. But as always, if you have any problems or any questions, feel free to write me at mike@kellytown.com. That's my email address. Or, of course, you can post on the forum. You can even post a comment here in the comments section, and I will definitely answer you. And if you don't get an answer from me, then I didn't see it. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon.